Yeah, just picked up a customer, lovely name, Mercedes. But yeah, and you was telling me that it's a bit complicated, but you're passionate about medicine.
So, in fact, I'm Congolese.
Congolese,
so I have
yeah.
a West African background.
Okay.
I'm a second generation immigrant, so my family left Congo and then I was born here in England.
Okay.
And I've always been told, just being a black person in a country that isn't necessarily predominantly black, everything that someone else can do, you need to do twice as hard or you will not be recognized.
Yeah.
So I've always been pushed. My dad is a strong academic. He was an engineer, and my mother was big into law. So it was very much doctor, lawyer, nothing else.
Okay.
And from a very young age, I've been a bright kid, which I don't think you should really call kids that. I think it puts a lot of pressure on them. But I've always been pushed to do better, and I have, because I wanted to. But I would say if my parents hadn't pushed me that way, I don't think I would have had that same fire. It was more to impress them than anything else. And I remember specifically when I decided I wanted to be a bariatric surgeon, I was 8 years old.
Okay, wow.
I was in my living room and I was just searching, how can I make the most money
Okay.
in England?
Wow.
So I searched up the highest paying jobs, and bariatric surgeon came up as one of them. And I
Okay.
thought, you know what? Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. So I'll go ahead and I'll do that. And I'm someone who, when they pick something, they don't stray. So
It's
I stuck
it's
with
very
that.
rare.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, continue.
So I stuck with that all the way through, and then when I turned 18, I had a bad situation with my father. I had to leave the house. We moved into a refuge, and whilst there, I decided to go to pharmacy instead. And I did pharmacy for a year, but I decided I wasn't feeling very challenged. So I went back to try to pass my UCAT and go into med school again, and then I got in. I was very grateful to be able to have that opportunity. But whilst I was doing that year of pharmacy and then that year preparing to go back to med school, I started my own business. And I have fallen in love with that. I would say that is more my passion. So now I'm at a crossroads where my mother is like, you could have done anything. You were the one who chose to go back to med school. Why do you all of a sudden want to start a business? And I don't really have a reason why. And I guess with my character, someone who doesn't stray from things, it's a bit of a shock to everyone and a shock to myself. But I would say that I'm having fun with it, and everything I do, I put 120% into it.
Okay.
So I don't expect this to fail either. Now I know there's a lot more risk with this than there is with a degree, but I am more than willing to take that risk. And if that ignites my fire again, then it's what I have to keep chasing. That's all.
Yeah, wow, yeah, love the energy, love the passion, love the spark. Once again, that's why I like to do what I'm doing, because when you capture that on camera, whether it's audio or video, it's super positive and inspiring. There's a couple of things. First of all, what is a bariatric surgeon?
So they do gastric bypass surgery. So people who are overweight or obese and they need medical help to help them lose weight, we essentially restrict the stomach. So there's less space in the stomach and they get full quicker. And that helps them lose weight.
Okay, because they used to do the band, but they've stopped the band. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. That's a whole different conversation also. But okay, so see the way you said you don't stray. Some people are like that, and a lot of people can stray. Any ideas why?
I honestly think it has to do with your brain chemistry. I found out very late in life that I'm autistic. I'm not very high on the spectrum, but I am autistic.
Okay.
I don't think it's something that holds me back. If anything, I think it's allowed me to achieve the things that I have in life. I'm very lucky to be able to say that. What have I done? But I spoke in the House of Lords.
Okay.
I was Young Lord Mayor of Liverpool for a year.
Okay.
I've done random things that helped me slowly but surely achieve my goals, and I would say that my autism is a little bit to thank for that. That combined with my parents. I also think people who stray. People who stray tend to come from Western worlds. I think that
interesting.
Again, with the perspective of being a second generation immigrant, and all the immigrants that I know who live kind of the same experience as me, whether they be Bangladeshi or Pakistani or Congolese or Nigerian or Ghanaian, all of our parents have kind of told us, we fought to give you this life.
Yeah.
Don't mess it up.
Yeah.
Whereas,
sorry, go on. No, go on.
with my partner, who is white, his family is very much, do what you want. Life is your own to live. You don't owe anyone anything.
Okay.
Make experiences and figure out what it is you want.
Okay.
So I would say that in terms of people who stray and don't stray, it has a lot to do with brain chemistry, but also your upbringing. If you don't want to let down the people who have fought so hard for you, you're more likely to pick something and stick to it if it sounds like something they like me with going into medicine. Whereas my partner, he did 3 different things at uni. He started off in engineering, he didn't like it. He went to zoology, he didn't like it. And then I met him in pharmacy. So he's kind of had that opportunity to stray and walk around with no strings attached and no one guilting him.
Okay. Yeah. Very interesting perspective. So you both went into pharmacy, dealing drugs. Seeing where the money was, very lucrative. I'm on to you guys. But great perspective. What else was going to say? So your business. So another thing I like to do is promote startups, local businesses. You know, I had someone in from Germany yesterday, first time in Liverpool. She works with DHL. Her passion is yoga. So she mentioned her business. So then what I do in the link, I put a link to their website or DHL in Germany or whatever. I mean, if you want to mention your business, or are you still forming it?
Well, my business is with ultra high net worth private clients, so it's not something that I broadcast. It's more through referral.
Private, high ticket.
Yes.
No, 1,000,000%, and that's where it's very lucrative.
Yes.
And I think with your background and your energy and everything you've done, it's a great niche.
Yes.
Yeah, no, 1,000,000%. That's great. Is there any way that you can juggle the two? Biometric surgeon.
My mother would love me to do the two.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I think, so obviously I picked one thing when I turned 8, I stuck to it, which means I never did anything to do with business. Everything I ever did was about medicine, including my speech in the House of Lords. I was speaking about the importance of providing feminine healthcare and feminine hygiene products to children in less economically developed countries. So I've never ever thought about business. So I feel like I need that backing there, that educational backing there. So if I was going to keep studying, I would think I would pivot and try and take a business degree, because if this is my passion and this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, I should have the kind of, I don't know, educational background and the correct standing to be able to stand across my peers and people I'm competing against and say I have what it takes. Okay,
yeah, totally respect that, and I understand why you'd want to do it. And I think for someone like yourself, it will be a walk in the park. You can get it done, tick that box, and it will just help the area where you're gravitating towards. A question I ask a lot of my customers, by the way, am I okay? So what I do, obviously you haven't got your video on here and I've got your name, but I think it's inspiring, like your journey, your story. It's totally fine if you don't want to, but am I allowed to, like, your speech in the House of Lords, whatever, am I allowed to find that and put a link to it, or would you rather not me do that?
If you can find it.
Okay, no, because your name is pretty unique, and I think a few keywords, I'm assuming. And it's just nice because it inspires other people, but with your permission.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, cool. What was the other question? Oh yeah, a question I ask a lot of my customers, most people do jobs because it pays the bills. So going back to like Maslow, self-actualization, fulfillment, let's just say Mercedes won the lottery, right? And you had millions, most people then would put more energy and time into the things they love doing. So I think with you, because you're a bit at the crossroads and you love both the entrepreneurial business avenue you're going up with and the medicine, I think you just put more time into both of them with all that money. Is that correct?
Well, actually, with the company I'm building, it's so that I can live a life as if I'm not working at all. My goal is to retire my boyfriend, his parents, and my mother, and also put away money for my retirement goals. I'd like to be retired in, I'd like to say 8 years. Okay,
I love the ambition. Love the ambition.
And I write music. always been musically inclined since I was very, very young. I play the piano, I play the guitar.
Okay.
I think I would spend most of my days going to the gym, playing piano. I write orchestral pieces.
Okay,
And
orchestral.
So pieces for a whole orchestra, so
Okay.
violins and harps and pianos all together.
Full of sparks. No, it's great, and it's great to get your perspective and energy. Okay, no, I love it. We're about to get out, so yeah, you just put more time into that.
Yeah.
Retire early, and basically, ultimately, do the things you love.
Yeah.
Is there any particular charities you resonate with?
Yes, so my family came here, escaped the war,
Yeah.
and the Red Cross helped them out very much. Now,
Okay.
the Red Cross isn't doing
Are
exactly
you
what it
okay
was back
here?
in the
Yeah,
day.
yeah,
It's
go,
okay.
yeah, go.
But there are other charities I would like to support, specifically those. There's a charity, I think it's Ghana. It helps women who have been sex trafficked. It takes care of them, and it gives them an education in trade so that they can start businesses and rebuild their lives outside of the slave trade. And
Okay.
also for those of them who happen to have kids by ways that they did not want, they're all provided therapy, and then there's also a nursery for those children.
Okay.
I think that if ever I became a millionaire, I would pump a lot of money into that charity.
Okay, no, thank you for mentioning that, because I'll put a link to it in the description. About 2 weeks ago, I picked up this woman. She had an OBE, and Cotton, name is, for education in countries around. Basically, her forte is education, and she feels in a lot of African countries where she's been, by promoting more education, you can lift people out of poverty.
Yes.
Then there was another one, some Jen from Shared Earth in town, her spark and her mission. For some people, it's in the DNA to do a certain thing. Not everyone's found that, but people, it takes a while, doesn't it? But yeah, Jen was amazing because she likes to help artisans all around the world. So once again, it's good to capture the energy and just promote more of it. Anything you want to say before we bring it to an end, Mercedes?
This was probably the loveliest Uber drive I've had in a long time.
Definitely 5 stars then.
Definitely 5 stars. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. I'm going to just stop.